just in between a rock and a hard place.
So there were certain kinds of assumptions around being a middle-class person that have sort of shattered.
And wages, really, in some ways, are a reflection of the productivity and skills of American workers.
4 in 10 Americans say that money affects them negatively and the state of their mental health.
The consumers that have a whole lot of debt really are struggling to survive.
The middle class was once a symbol of the American dream. But the American middle class today paints quite a different picture.
Being middle class, I feel like you're really just in between a rock and a hard place. You know, you're in a spot where everyone's like, hey, you're doing better than, low class. You're doing great. You should be fine. And you're underneath the people who are actually doing fine.
It was at least a secure category. Your kids would go to a school that you felt at least okay about. You probably own a car or two, and you'd own your own home, and you could pay for your kids' college educations. So there were certain kinds of assumptions around being a middle-class person that have sort of shattered.
A survey in 2018 found that a third of middle-income adults don't have $400 to cover an unexpected expense.
In polls, when people are asked about being middle class, they frequently are less likely to say so, and more people now urge the pollsters to suggest that they're working class. So I think that many people who maybe in prior years would have thought of themselves as middle class now no longer think of themselves that way.
So when we think about economic status, we think about it as some static, state of the world, that you are either poor or not poor, you're middle class or you're not. But in fact, the reality is that many middle class families will experience one or a few years in poverty. In fact, most American families will have years where they'll be poor or near poor. That precarity, that uncertainty, that is now a feature of the middle class experience for most US families.
So, what exactly happened to the American middle class? A study by the Pew Research Center discovered that the middle class, which was once comprised of the majority of Americans, has steadily shrunk since the 1970s. About 61% of American adults were considered middle class in 1971, compared to just 51% in 2019. However, the issue still remains widely debated.
When people think about the state of the...
So that was a segment on CNBC, and a portion of the segment was talking about the American middle class. What's going on with the American middle class? And why do we even care? Well, one thing, you need to know what's going on with the American middle class, because the more the middle class disappear, the more trouble we're in. It means there's only 2 classes left, rich and poor. And since only 1% of the population will fall under the rich, 99% are going to fall under the poor. So that's why we keep measuring and weighing and gauging the middle class, because that tells us the lifestyle and the quality that people have in that country. Now, the American middle class, in 2021, according to Pew Research, it was between $43,000 to $130,000. It depends where you live. So the average middle class in 2021, according to Pew Research, is $65,000. That group is disappearing. Yes, they're disappearing in America. Where are they going? Are they going under a rock? No, they're not going under a rock. Where are these middle class people going? It's bad. Big government is eradicating, they're eroding the middle class. So they're giving them more debt. So the more middle class debt people take on, more middle class debt, is the more we're going to have that class eroding. So America is very interesting, because there's rich people here, there's poor people, and there's middle class, and there's also homeless people. There's around 500,000 people in the United States that are homeless, and people get homeless for various reasons. One reason is medical insurance. Insurance, you get sick in America, you're close to going broke. I'm telling you, I know people pay $1,700 a month for one medicine, $325 for another medicine. So you're racking up $2,000-$3,000 per month in medicine. Your mortgage is about $3,000 per month. So at that point, you have to choose between medicine or mortgage, because you're only making so much disposable income per month. You're only making so much income per month. So when they get you with the medical bill, then you've got to run. You can't walk anymore. You've got to run. And some people end up becoming homeless. So what's the middle class? The middle class is the people that have between 43 to 130,000, average 65,000. Why is the middle class important to America? It's important to America because it shows the healthiness of the culture. The more middle class people are there, the better the culture is. When you have less middle class, it shows you that we as a nation are in trouble, and it shows you that the cost of living or the ways of living are low. And this is what happens when the middle class disappears. It shows you the structure of the country. It's being changed from capitalism to socialism. And I've always said socialism is not good in America. It might be good in Europe, it might be good in Canada, but it doesn't fall good in America. There's nothing good about socialism in America. I'm Tisha Powell. Thanks so much for watching. We've got 90 seconds to go. Be sure to hit the free like and that free subscribe button. That way you'll get the latest breaking business money news, and you'll get tips on how to save money. I'm about to tell you 3 ways to save money as well. Go ahead, friends and folks and family and everyone out there who's watching, hit that free like and that free subscribe button. It helps out a lot. And engage with us, talk with us, say like or send a comment. We will respond. What giveaways would you like us to see? What would you like us to do when we hit 100,000 subscribers? Because we do have some giveaway. And check out the tag products today from Sephora. Aren't they nice? They're gorgeous. They are unique. Now you can shop on the internet and watch TV at the same time. That's YouTube for you. You watch your show and you get to shop at the same time. Isn't that lovely? 3 ways to get out of debt. Number 1, you've got to save money. You cannot get out of debt unless you save. Number 2, you need to invest the money. There are 4,800 banks in the United States. Call one of them. Start a mutual funds. But what if your job is giving a 401? Still do a mutual funds. So you got to invest money. It's best to give the banks the money to invest. And number 3, you must have a budget. You must have a balanced budget. It shows what's going in, what's going out. I'm Tisha Powell. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. See you another time.